Good evening. Hello. Hey, you guys, it's Melissa Miller here in King City, Missouri from Miller's Rustic Sawmill. I'm a brand ambassador for Essential Stencil, and I'm joining you guys live here tonight on the Stencil page to do a fun project. If you are hopping on tonight, make sure that you say hello in the comments and let me know that you're watching. If you are new here to this community and to the stencils, or even just new seeing me here on the page, make sure you let me know and just type the word new so everybody here can welcome you and we can make you feel at home in this awesome community. So as you hop on, say hi, tell me where you're watching from. I always like to see everybody from all over the United States or wherever you're watching from. I see Joyce. Hello. Hey, Barb. Hey, Linda. Hey, Penny. Hey, you guys. Thank you. Hey, Angela. Hey, Diana. Hey, Renee. Hey, Kay. Hello, you guys. Thanks for hopping on. Hey, Julie. Ruth is back home in Kansas. Hey, Penny. Hey, Melissa Beck. And my mom is on. Hey, Lisa. Again, good to see you. Thanks for joining me again tonight, you guys. Make sure you hit the share video and or share and let everybody know about this video, and let's get this number up. I have not been able to get that number up real high for very long. I don't know if it's Facebook. I don't know what it is, but you guys, I'm going to start this project tonight, and it is going to be very different. I'm going to leave it up in the air, and as it comes together, I think you're going to see it come together. So, several of you are saying you got your new stencils. That's exciting. Hey, Mitzi. Hey, you guys. Sound is good. Sound is good. Welcome, Beverly. It's your first time here. It works, doesn't it, Bronwyn? It totally works. Okay, you guys, we are going to get started. I'm going to probably turn my camera down, and you're going to see that tonight, this is going to be a very different kind of project. And I hope you like it. I think it's a cute idea. I think it's going to turn out super cute, God willing. We're gonna give it a try. So you know, sometimes these projects that I don't have all planned out don't always go the way I think they're gonna go. So we are going to see what happens tonight. This is gonna be a fun one. Make sure you hit that share button. Make sure you're commenting. Make sure you're hanging out to the end of the video. Hey, Kathy. And if you are going to order any of the stencils, any of the brushes, anything from the site, make sure you use my code. I do have an ambassador code, and it is at the header of this video. I'll show it to you real quick here. If you are new here, you can plug this in anytime you're ordering. It doesn't just have to be tonight. You can plug this in anytime you're ordering on the Essential Stencil site, and it's going to save you some money. Just take a quick screenshot, save it for later. I have all of the links for the things I'm using tonight and to the brushes as well. So you won't have to miss that. You're addicted to stenciling. I know a lot of people are. Hi, you guys. Hi, Beth. Thank you guys for watching. Some of you are preparing for storms. I hate that. Someone is in Padre Island, South Padre, watching. That's amazing. That's awesome. I'm sorry about the sound. If you're having issues, I don't know what's going on. Gina, thank you. That's sweet. Okay, you guys. Hey, Donna. I'm going to angle you down, and I'm going to get this started. I don't have a lot of stenciling tonight, but I have some painting to do, so I'm going to be using some paints. I am doing something custom tonight, kind of custom creation. I hope that you guys find this something that you can repeat and is doable. I think you're going to think it's cute. I don't think you're going to have any idea what I'm doing until I get it done. So this is going to be fun. These are fun whenever that happens. So let me turn you down. Let me check the angle, and we'll see what we can get going here tonight. If my someone named Melissa is new, that's awesome. Good name. Okay, yeah, you can see that. So I'm working on my crappy, oh, it's just a tablecloth I picked up. I've got this out. I'm not going to need this just yet. This is a coffee filter I use for putting my paint on. I fold mine in half, and then I lay it on some cardstock just so it doesn't bleed through. So that's what I did. Well, thank you, Kay. That's sweet. So I've got these little blocks of wood, you guys. We have turning blanks, and I took these and I cut them up into the sizes I wanted. So I'm gonna take, let's see, probably not these. I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna add some paint to these. I'm gonna paint them, and I've got some colors that I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna just look at them real quick. And so, yay, Kim, that's a good day when you get your hair done. I was supposed to have an appointment tomorrow to get mine done, but I had to cancel it. We're getting taxes done instead. That's not even a good trade, is it? So I'm gonna set these out in the blocks that I want them to go on, just so I can see. So, and then I'm gonna add some paint to probably just one side of this and see if I like it that way. So it could be used either way, maybe, if I wanted it to. Let's see, purple will go on this one. Pretty, pretty, pretty. These are pretty colors, aren't they? And let me look at my blue. I'm not sure which blue I want to use yet. This is the one I'm not sure of. This is how I always set out or choose my colors. So I think that one would look okay. I'm just gonna double check to see if I want this other blue. Nope, I'm gonna go with the darker one. So that's what I'm gonna do. I usually take the lids off, I set them down, I kind of look at them. I'm really not gonna need much paint, so all I'm really gonna do, I know it looks like Easter, I'm gonna trick you. It's not an Easter project, I can tell you that. It would maybe make a cute little Easter project, but this is not an Easter project, even though it looks like Easter colors. So let me set this here for a minute. I don't know if I'll have enough paint. I might have enough paint in my lids just to get this done how I want it first off. Let me put a little more green in here. Yeah, so sometimes whenever I have colors that I'm trying to pick out, it's helpful to me to see them out like this, and then I kind of stare at them. I look at their tones. I just kind of take a look and see, you know, if I like those or if I need to switch them out. I'll take, I don't know. That's just what I do. So I'm going to just work right off of this, and I'm going to just add a little bit of paint right onto the front of this block. And I might even paint the sides. I'm trying to decide if I want to paint the sides. Honestly, there's going to be very little stenciling on this project, but the stenciling is going to be pretty cute that I do. So, I think this is a project I think many of you will be able to duplicate. Some of you might even find that you could add this as a offering to maybe if you're a seller. So let's, yeah, I think I'm just gonna do the fronts. I kind of like that idea. Just to make it simple. And I may have to add another coat of paint there. I'll have to wait and see. I'll get some blue. I guarantee you, you guys will never guess what I am making. I would be shocked if anybody could guess this. It looks like a fun project, and I think it will be pretty easy to complete. And this, so like my take on this, why I wanted to try this, and I don't know if my nephews are watching, but this could absolutely be, I put, you know, DIY family project. I put it on there for a couple of reasons, and you'll figure it out later. But this is something that you could sit down with your family. It could be a good family offering for a family picnic or reunion or gathering. It will be a fun project and pretty simple to make happen, I feel like. So this might be one you're going to want to bank. If I get a little bit on the side, it's not going to hurt a thing. So I'm going to set those paintbrushes off to the side. I got to grab a couple more. These are just my craft brushes that I'm using to get some paint on here. So I've got this pink, light pink color. It's gonna look good. Oops. And hi, Patrice. So I don't always do a lot of painting on here, you guys, with you. I usually have my backgrounds all prepped, but I thought tonight it would be kind of fun to just paint these, especially whenever I don't have a lot of stenciling going on this tonight. So there's going to be a little bit, but not a lot. But what I'm going to add on here is going to make it really cute. And I have another part that's going to go with it. So there's always more, right? We all know that whenever I'm here, I usually have more that I'm trying to get done than I really probably should. Okay, so now I'm going to do this purple, and it does totally look like Easter, very spring-like. So this is a good color palette, of course, for spring, but that isn't why I chose it. This is a very thin purple, so that one is not showing up as well as I thought. It's going to be pretty. I might have to put a couple layers on. It's pretty thin. It might be old or something. So I might have to just let that one dry a little bit. And then I think I'm gonna do this one with a little bit of white on it. After I'm sitting there looking at it, I think it might need just a little bit of some white. So I'm gonna grab what's left of my white. Very mysterious, that's right. I should have put that as my title. I should have said Mystery Project Night, because I want it to be fun. And sometimes, you guys, it's, you know, sometimes little surprises or mysteries, and just, we're gonna have fun tonight. So I'm gonna just put a little bit of white on this one, I think, and just kind of dry brush it lightly. Really, really dry. I don't want it solid, I don't think. So I could take a paper towel or a sanding block right back to this after I get it on there. What am I working on? Well, it's a surprise project. I should have put that. Instead I put, it's a DIY. This is a great, it's, I think, gonna be a great family project that you could do with your family and for your family. So it is a surprise. How many times as adults do you guys get a surprise? So tonight I'm bringing you a surprise here on the live surprise project. It's gonna make it fun. You can see I'm just kind of making this a little bit more white, and I don't want it to be solid, so I'm gonna kind of leave it a little bit dry brushed. I want it to be a little bit more heavy, but I've still got some showing through there, right? So, okay, so I'm gonna set my brushes off to the side for now over here. And I'm gonna make sure my purple, oh, that looks good. It's drying just fine. I'm gonna add just a little bit more to that, and then I'm gonna let it dry. Then I'm going to make sure, once I know they're all dry, I'm gonna put them where I want them, and I'm gonna grab a stencil, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of stencils to this, and you're still not gonna know what it is. How's that for surprises? Okay, let me get my lids on my paint. So, well, I need a little bit more blue right here. It looks like right there. Nothing crazy, just a little showing through. Okay, white. Let me put the lid on my white. And then my purple, just put my lids up, grabbing a drink of my tea. Good, you guys, Kimberly said I'm so anxious. Oh, it's gonna be fun. So I have these, and I also have this cool wood block that I'm working on. Very, very pretty wood that I'm probably gonna leave, and I'm hoping I'm gonna stencil something on that is my plan. So, okay, let me make sure these are good and dry. And let me think about this. I think this is how I want them. This and this. Okay, so I'm leaving one of them naturally wood. I'm just trying to find the wood side that I like the best. Okay. It already looks cute just like that. This kind of looks a little orange, doesn't it? But it's just naturally wood. So we're gonna leave it naturally wooden. Okay, let me find the right stencils. Okay, so let's scoot these off to the side. So I'm gonna start with these. I'm using this set right here. So it's a home 6-pack. Skyscrapers, landscape, good guesses, but not right. I think I'm gonna use some dark granite, or I might just use black. Let me look. Not dark granite, that's not gonna be dark enough. I didn't, you know, I could always use my trusty peppercorn. And I might actually use some white and make it different colored. I think I'm gonna have to do that just because I want it to pop a little bit more than what I think it might. So, because I don't have much paint left, I'm gonna have to open up my lid and take it out of my lid with my stencil. So on the bottom of this right here, you see our life, our story, our home. I am using acrylic paint. So I'm gonna take this little block right here and I'm gonna put the word our on it in white, just right down at the bottom. And that's the only word that I want on it. And I'm gonna have to hold it because it's bigger than what I'm stenciling on. So I'm gonna grab one of my little brushes. I'm getting paint on me. That's what my apron is for. Get some paint on it. So I'm getting a little bit of paint right here. It's not gonna take me very much. I've got a little bit of space to go right here. And so I'm gonna just stencil the word our, O-U-R. Our. So I wanna make sure it's good and dry. I don't want it to blow off. My paint is gonna blow away. Always make sure you're holding down your coffee filters because mine blow away a lot, I forget. And I'm just getting a tiny bit more paint on my brush. I'm just gonna do a little bit more on this just to get a good solid white on the word. Okay, so I've got our. Then I'm gonna use life. And it's gonna go on the green. Right there. So anytime that you have something you don't want to get the paint into, you want to make sure you tape over it or you block it with something. Hey you guys, thanks for being on. So I don't want to get any paint in the rest of this in here. So I'm going to just kind of put that there. And then I'm going to do life. So I'm making kind of a surprise set tonight, you guys. Hopefully, I think the angle is okay. I think you guys can see. Just wanted to make sure you can see what I'm doing. This isn't going to be a great angle for you all, but I'm just going to do the word life, and I'm just working it in with my brush, and it's only going to probably need one coat because it's just going on that green a little bit better. So there's our life. Then I've got our story. Let me move it up here a little bit. I'm just working on almost like so these are wood blocks of ours that we have. They're typically oh, well, they're actually turning blanks that I took out of our supply, and then I cut them up. So we have wood turning blanks in our wood supply, and we've got quite a few. Oh, that's a good guess, Kimberly. Not quite. It could be something like that. I mean, you could make it something like that. Whoopsie. Okay, so now, because you can see through these stencils, it makes it so much easier to position what you're doing, but I've got to see where I'm at on the edges. Okay, I was trying to kind of make it fit in the middle, right there. So probably what I need to do first before I tape it is tape it down up here, so then it's not moving on my wood. Okay. This is a little tedious stenciling right here, you guys. This has your brain working hard. Oh, well, heck. Don't let your brain work too hard tonight. This is just gonna be fun. Now you're just trying to guess. My mom's probably trying to guess what the heck I'm making too. Well, that's a good idea on that big block. I didn't even think about that. I might have to do that. That's a great idea. Saying to put the name in the block. I didn't even think about that, but I love it. So that's a really good idea. So here, I'm just getting some paint on that and trying to fill it in. Okay, my O didn't want to fill in very good, so I'm just going to put it back down and try to add a little bit more paint in there. I think there was some sawdust on my wood. Surely not sawdust. Okay, that'll work. It's kind of a funky O. Is it going to be a billboard? Well, no, I really know. I wouldn't expect anyone to know. I really wouldn't. I would be shocked, like I said, if anybody knows. So our story. So story's gonna have to be in another color. So I probably should have done our in another color also. I wasn't even thinking. But that's okay. I'll put story in maybe the blue. Is what I'll probably do. So I'll just grab a little bit of blue out of here, and I'm gonna stencil the word story right onto this block, and you're gonna see that they don't have to be all the same. I wasn't even thinking whenever I just did that. Our story. So I could have done them in all the colors that I'm using. That would have been a fun thing to do. I wonder if I can do our in the blue. I think I can. So I could have just used the same colors that I did for each of the words, and I didn't even think about that. But you guys, I told you I was kind of winging it tonight on my project. So this is what we get whenever we wing it. Nothing I ever do is perfect. Always a work in progress. And sometimes we all learn from it. And that's my goal, is for you guys to learn something while you're on here with me. So I'm gonna go back over this just because of my color choices. As we were talking about color choices, I didn't make very smart ones for these two letters. Okay. And so I've got this little dot right here that I can just kind of sand off with some sandpaper. Not a big deal. Okay, so there's that. That looks good. Looking good. I'm gonna continue with my white. Over here, I'm gonna do our home. Well, it's just real life, you guys. It's just real life. And it's really, you know, sometimes it's really good to have you guys see that You know, just because I'm an ambassador and I've been going live for a very long time, doesn't mean that I'm doing it all just right either. So when you're creative and you're working on things, you know that it's going to change, and sometimes it turns out better than you thought it would. So, okay, I'm going to get my white, back to my white that I don't have a lot of. I've got to get me some white paint. So let's go here. Just kind of pushing that down into that little tiny hole. I know we always say offload, but sometimes when you're doing the little bitty spaces, you kind of sometimes have to have a little bit more paint on there. So I'm just splitting up the words right across here. And then I'm going to do home. And I'm just going to hold that there. I'm going to put some paint in there. And on this one, you guys, I'm putting a lot of pressure on my brush. And I'm just kind of working it down in the holes. And I'm just kind of, you can hear me hitting it even. Kind of hitting the stencil with my brush just to put some more pressure on it. So sometimes that's what it takes, is a little bit more pressure to push that paint right on out into those little bitty spaces. And that's going to give you a good clean line. So other than my H looks a little off, but I'll take a little, I've got a sanding block somewhere. Here it is. And we'll just sand off that little bitty white underneath there, or I'll just touch it back up with my purple. That's what I'll do. So I'm not worried about that. Okay. So let me see. Put my paints up again. Get this out of the way just a little bit. And now let me show you. I'm gonna have to fix that or it's gonna bother me. Sorry. So let me put just a tiny bit of paint right underneath that. Okay, and right beside it. So this is where those detailing brushes would come in really well, and that's what I should have grabbed. Essential Stencil has the detailing brushes also. And I think I'm gonna make that H look just a little bit, tiny bit more like an H with my little detail brush. So it doesn't really have much of a line going across it. So I'm gonna make it look like it does. Just with my H, or with my detail brush. I'm just gonna clean it up ever so slightly. So I put a little line across it. So if you see something that you don't like, or you think it's like it's missing, you know, you can take your detail brushes and fill in anytime. Okay. So I'm just getting brushes out of the way. Okay, so let me think about this now. Okay, I've got our story. So this is how it's gonna go. Look at how cute that is. Just like that, right? There's Mackenzie. Hey, Mackenzie. So adorable, right? But here's what I'm gonna do next. Hi Nancy. Let me show you. Okay, I've got my hot glue gun plugged in, and I've got some little wooden balls that are flat on the bottom, and they're solid on them all the way around. See that? One hole. So we're gonna add little heads to these. And these are gonna represent, this is my cousin's family, her husband, her daughter Emma that likes the pink, her daughter Clara that likes the purple, Hannah that likes the sage, and Olivia that likes the blue. So it does look like bookends, but we're not done yet. So I'm gonna add a little bit of hot glue to this guy. And I'm gonna glue it on. And I've got Dad. And then I've got Mom. Did someone guess that? Oh, I didn't see it. Good guess, whoever was guessing. Someone guessed it. This would be such a fun and easy project for a family to do. At a family dinner or reunion, you could take your stencils. So I'm gonna let those guys sit. Good guess, Cindy. And so the bottom part that I have, the block I have, is just that I think that they could sit on it, or it could sit by them. I don't know yet. So it's different, very different, but I think it's a cute idea. And so you could add, yeah, I think it would make a fun gift. Sometimes you don't know what to get people, or, you know, what to make them that might be different than something that they already have. You could put their names on them. You could add, I'll show you in a minute what else I had. Yeah, it would be a great workshop idea. It would be a fun one to do. And you know, you could put just letters on them. You could put a saying across them. You could glue them all together. But there they are as the family. Look at how cute this is. Isn't that cute? So you could glue them all together. I think ideally you would probably want to maybe glue them together. You can take twine, and I might just go ahead and put some glue in between them and glue them together. They can always come apart if I want them to, but this is going to make it easier to move them around. And then maybe little ones won't be playing with them. So you could do it however you wanted. You don't have to glue them together. Maybe you want to be able to move them around. For the purpose of this live, I think I'm going to glue them together. I can pop them apart. It's just glue. Yes, they would be adorable, glued to the shape of a house. I agree. These are a little chunky for the house shape, but look at this. I just think it's just cute. It's very different. I'm not using a lot of, whoops, I went up a little too far. I'll have to sand off some of that glue up above, or pick it off whenever it dries. I went up too far from that one. Didn't even think about that. I was putting the glue on the wrong block. Okay. And I kind of curved it a little bit. I'm going to try to push it back down. Isn't that cute? So you could do Bible crafts with this. My gluing is not fantastic, you guys, but it's still going to be super cute. Take and add some twine. You can see I kind of curved it. I didn't mean to at all. So let me add some twine. Let me just tie this right over here on the side. Get a knot going. I get an A+. It is very crafty. It's a little craftier than I'm usually doing. Usually I'm not super crafty. I'm more stencil-like. Okay, let me get my twine going so I can wrap this around here. You could wrap ribbon. You wouldn't even have to wrap twine. Totally up to you. However you want to do it, whether you do or you don't. I'm just throwing some twine right above that. I'm wrapping quite a bit. And then I'll take it over here and I'll finish it off in another knot. And then I could add a button or a bow or just leave it tied off there. Just super cute. I'll snip that off. Get rid of some of my hot glue. I'll have to pull this off of this guy, off of Dad. Okay, so we could be so done with that, but look, I'm going to show you something else that I thought would be so cute added to this. So, just for ideas, right? So I pulled the cat. They have a cat. So, of course, you could take another block, and if I wanted to, I could just have a block that has the cat paws or however many cat paws they have on it, and it could go off to the side, it could set in front, but I think that would be super cute to do the little kitty cats, right? So you could always add another block for the cats. That's a cute idea. And the other idea that I had, let me see, I think I might have tagged the wrong, nope I didn't. Yeah, so I've got this Valentine stencil, and I think it would be super cute to even add the little heart, like a little tiny heart right here on the mom. And even the dad, you could add little hearts. So I wanted to show you that. How cute is that? I was looking to see if I had any, any cute little hearts, you know, like little add-ons or glue-ons or something. But I think that the little hearts would be, you wouldn't have to use a stencil for the heart, but I thought it would be so cute to just add that little heart right there on mom and dad. You could do it on everybody actually, and it would be adorable. Isn't that cute? Let me grab some red. Let me see if I can add a red to it. You guys know I like, what color is it? It's cranberry. So we'll use a cranberry. Yeah, we'll use this guy. And so there's a couple ways, like I'm thinking instead of stenciling this on and taping it, let me just show you a way that you can do this. So if you don't want to draw the heart on, you can see here, I'm gonna place this where I want it. I'm gonna grab a little pencil, like a mechanical pencil, and I'm gonna just trace it on, as opposed to trying to tape and hold and stencil. I'm gonna just tape it or trace it around with my pencil, and I'm gonna leave that right there. And I'm gonna put one on Dad. We'll put a heart on Dad. So we could add the little hearts to everybody. The little girls could get smaller ones. Mom and Dad have the big one. And then this is where your detail brushes will come in. So let's go over here. We'll add one. This would be Hannah. You could do these in blacks and whites. You could do them for a new, family, adopted, this, you can add to them if you didn't glue them all together, or even if you did glue them together, you could just keep adding to them. So we'll put the little detail brushes. So that's an easy way to do that without having to try to tape off everything and get it stenciled. So then you grab your little detail brush, and then I'm just gonna dip right out of my lid, and then you just follow it around. So So I'm just using the color Cranberry. I didn't grab pure red because I just like the idea of the cranberry color. It's a pretty simple project to do. And you could obviously put anything you wanted on these people. You wouldn't have to stencil that across there. I was actually looking at some other stencils that are out of stock right now, so I just didn't, that's why I didn't use them. But there are some great sets for sure that you can add to. There's one that is Faith, Family, and Freedom. You could put the word family across it. If you've got multiple stencils, you can pull from any of them. So this set I pulled from is one that has a lot of great home ones in it. And that's why I also have that little wood block. So you could also use a paint marker, you guys. Don't make the little hearts any harder than you have to. We talk a lot about paint markers, or if you've got a red Sharpie or something. I'm just using this little detail brush. And again, they're just hand painted little hearts, which I think is also super cute. And this would be a craft that would be just fine for kiddos to do. Like, I could see my nephews wanting to do this. And I know the girls that I'm making this for would do it in a heartbeat with their mom. You can see my hearts have grown just a little bit. How cute is that? Yes, as the family grows, you could add to it for sure. I'm just gonna wipe off that brush. Okay, so then I told you I had this other, we'll set that right there, and I'll show it to you in a minute whenever I set things up. I've got this other wood block, and I pulled it because I thought that it would be cute to have them set on it. And I pulled, let's see, from this same set, let me look. I've got several sets that I pulled, and I'm getting them all mixed up. I've got a lot of stencils out on the table tonight. You guys, if you're gonna order, make sure that you grab my code and save yourself some money. So this is the set that I pulled that Our Life, Our Story, Our Home from. And in it is also Home Sweet Home, which would go right across this block. I'm almost certain it will. Home, I gotta look. Maybe it won't. Home Sweet, no, not quite. Not quite. So I could just put home on it. So I could put home on there. I could do the whole block. I grabbed some of these because I wasn't sure what I wanted to put on there. But a lot of these would be great for a base. It's just a matter of putting them on there. And maybe mine is not quite, my block is not quite wide enough for this. But let me see. This is our happy place. That won't quite go on there either. Not on my block, but I love the idea of the last name, whoever said that. So let me grab my alphabet and see if we can do that real quick. We've got 10 minutes left because the other one that I grabbed is like some of my tags, like I love you to the moon and back. That would fit on that block, and I could do it on one side. I thought that was a good one, but I've got my alphabets setting out here. I have a feeling these are gonna be too big. And I don't know where, I can't dig out this is what we were talking about today in the Stencil of the Month Club is the storage issues. I can't just pull them out because my stencils are buried. Yeah, someone did. This is us. Yes, someone mentioned that maybe. You get nervous when you do the alphabet. So I've got this one. I don't even know if this is in stock, and I always feel bad. I didn't even check this because I was not planning to use the alphabet tonight, but I love the idea. So let me think. To the S. So whenever I do something, let me just show you real quick, okay? So their last name, I will show you this. I like to draw things out. I'm a visual person. So their last name, I'm gonna write it out here. S-P-I-K-I-N-G. So this is their last name. So whenever I do letters like this, and I'm doing them simply myself, I go to the middle letter. I find the middle and I start in the middle. So in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. K is my middle letter. So I'm gonna put K in the middle of my block, right? So let me just see. We'll try it. I think I'll have enough space in here. So I'm gonna just eyeball this, and I'm gonna start with the K. I can always sand it off. I'm gonna try to stick it right in the middle. And I'm gonna grab my white. I'm gonna just do this in white. And I'm gonna work on holding this down. So I'm gonna just hold it. I would recommend that you tape it, but I know we're running short on time. But let's see here, let me get all my stuff. Okay, so I'm positioning this in what I feel like is the middle. If you wanna measure, you can measure. And I'm gonna do the K first. That's my middle letter. So you wanna find the middle, and then you wanna work out for your spacing. Unless you're working on something and you're able to cut the ends off, which I could also do with this. And see, I moved my stencil. This is why you wanna tape stuff. My paint is super thick. So if you're working on a long board, or you're cutting something to length, or you're able to, you don't have to worry about it as much. My paint is nasty. I think that's part of my problem. It's like super dried out thick. So there would be my K, and you can see I off-spaced it a little bit. So all I would have to really do is shift or sand it off, right? So I could sand it off. There's my K, but I have an idea. So S-P-I, so then we'll do the I. There's another I that goes over here. S-P-I, then I'm gonna go over here. Because again, you can see through them. It makes it not so hard to know your spacing. So if you wanna put a straight line down below to make sure you're lining them up, you always can. You can put a straight line on for yourself. This is not do as I say, not as I do. How many times have you guys heard me say that? Spiking. K-I-N-G. So yeah, you could do the last name. You could do all kinds of, you guys have sayings, as long as you can get them to fit down here. You could do anything you wanted down here. On the bottom of the base is what I'm gonna call that. We'll call it the base for the family. So these are, I'll show you these in just a minute. We'll hold them up and I'll show you how chunky they are. They're some great blocks, and I may end up throwing them on the website at some point because they have a lot of great uses, and we don't sell to that many wood turners, so I thought maybe we'll do a sale on some of these turning blocks. The kicker is, like, I had to sand them tonight to use them, so they're made for wood turning, so they have some wax on them, and they sanded off just fine, but they did take a little bit of work. But we might be able to get them sanded too. S-P-I-K. And then I'm gonna do the N. Oh no. Yeah. L-K. Elemento. I didn't even think about that. How funny is that, you guys? Now I don't have an N. I-N-G. I was almost there. Okay, I'm gonna figure it out. We're gonna put my S there. Do you see that? Do you see my mistake? I was thinking the whole alphabet was on here. You guys are probably telling me, no, don't do it. And here I am stenciling away, but I'm gonna make it work. I've got an idea. But do you see there's no other N? I was thinking that the whole alphabet was on this set. And I'm using it as an alphabet. Somebody probably, you guys, I'm not reading the comments. I'm sure you guys were like, hey, Melissa. There's not all of the letters. Brilliant. S-P-I-K-I. You see that? I grabbed it because I thought it was going to fit. We're going to creatively use the U, and I'm going to add a little line to it and make it look like a chunky N because I still have the G. So I'm not worried about the spacing because, yeah, I'll put a heart or something at the end if it's off. But it's that dang N, so I'm gonna flip it upside down, y'all. And I'm gonna do this. And we're gonna add a little tail to it, and we're gonna make an N. So make sure if you're adding this set that you make sure before you pull it for use, look at my paint, that you have the right letters that you need if you're using it for lettering. Improvise. So now I'm going to add just a little tiny tail from one of my other letters, probably maybe the Q right there. I'm going to just add the little tail from the Q right to it. Maybe, or let me look at something else. I'm just looking. This is called improvising, y'all. Let's go in right there. We'll do this little guy. And we'll see if it works. See if we can pull this off. Once again, I could use my little detail brushes and just fill it in. Yeah, this is just for the song. You would be right, y'all. I messed it up. But look, my N looks pretty darn good. Nobody would ever know. So just when you think you've ruined it, sometimes you haven't. And I could also take and I could cut this block off if I wanted to, just to even it up. But I think I'll add a heart instead or something else. Were my nephews on? So also my white paint is pretty much gone and it's not great. So I think I might have mispositioned my G, but you're gonna get the idea of the project. Oops. Let's do that one again. A little bit heavier. Okay. There we go. Okay. And then, like I said, I can add another heart right here out of any of my other sets. So I've got this cute little heart we could just add right to the end of this. And once again, I can use the pencil instead of trying to just stencil it on. You can always trace on there. and just fill it in. That's all I'm gonna do. Obviously, there's nothing perfect about it. Definitely a first-time project. You guys will hopefully learn from what I did. Oh, Kimberly, I'm glad. I just wasn't sure tonight how this was gonna go. You know, you can lay things out, but until you go to execute it, you're kind of like, well, let's just see. But it's always great to be able to do it here with you guys, because even if I mess up, you still make me feel like I didn't, and it's all good. But I mess up all the time, so I always like to see you guys see that as well. You know, it's not a bad thing that you see me mess up or pull a stencil that doesn't have all of the alphabet on it. This little G right here, I'm gonna try to fill it in just a little bit with my paint, my brush here too. So if you've got problem areas, those detail brushes are just great for that. Okay. Enough of that white paint. So let me turn this around and I'll show it to y'all on this, and then I'll hold it up. That my little heart is still drying. But look at how cute this is. Isn't that pretty adorable? It's so easy. And a cute little button would be adorable right there, or a bow. I don't know if I have any bows. I've got this cute little button that I was looking at a minute ago. It'd be pretty cute right there. A cute little button. I might have a little polka dot one. I've got different ones. But that would be super cute on there. You could even put a Scrabble letter. You could put anything on it that you wanted right there. A little bow would be really cute. I think I'm going to look for a little bow. Okay. It is easy. You guys, this was easy. Your kids could do this. Maybe you've got grandkids. Your family members could do this. This is not something super hard. Just put a big bow in the middle. I could. Okay. So let me hold it up and I'll show you guys. Show it to you holding it up, because we all know it's much cuter whenever we hold it up. Look. So there's our cute little people. They still got glue strings on them. There's my little stenciling. Ah, my nose is running all of a sudden. And here's the cute little stand. Look at this. Isn't that adorable? I think they're gonna love it. I think it's my cousin. I think she'll love it, and I think my sister-in-law will want one. Okay, so this is how chunky these are. I don't know the measurements on these little blocks, but we may look at crafting some of them together. So I was able to cut mine myself, but I could definitely maybe put some boxes together like this, and they would ship out pretty easily. And I just decided to leave the dad just the raw wood. I think it turned out adorable. It's pretty cute. It would be a great little gift. This was so good. Thank you. You know, I'm gonna work on the blocks. I'm gonna work on it. I was pulling them, actually, as I was pulling them tonight, I thought, I bet I could sell these kits, like family of 5, family of 4, family of 3. And then you could even get like a little dog or cat one, right? So this was so easy. It's so easy. But it turned out so cute. So you guys, thank you so much for being on here. If you don't follow us at Miller's Rustic Sawmill. Thank you. If you loved it, make sure you throw it up some hearts. Let us know in the comments what you thought. And come back next week. I'll be here at 11. Well, thank you, Shirley. I appreciate that. Thank you, Tim. Thanks for being on. And you guys, thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I